What makes this conservation process different than like other places I've heard is that we actually allow ourselves to engage and encounter the pieces. Mm-hmm. So this is wax stamped shut. And you could tell that the paper is like a high quality, delicate paper. That right there is just like deep love. The fact that someone wrote a letter and then wax sealed it. And it's like our privilege to be able to hand it off to the family. For the first month, it was just like everything stays in the memorial and we like keep things together. And we were storing it in the bus shelter because they were flying away because of the wind and people were walking and trampling all over everything, and community members were coming to me and be like, this looks like trash, and then I'm like, okay, we need to do something so that community members aren't so upset. So we bundled so many of them up, and we had like 8 bundles of signs, and we stored them in the bus shelter, and then someone tried to throw them away in the garbage can. So that's when we started looking for an alternative space. When Pillsbury House said yes, initially we just had this area. This is what we were allowed to use. The outdoor caretakers will go through the square, and if they think that something should no longer be in that space and they make judgment calls, they'll put them in the box, and then once a week I take the box here to conservation, all ages. That's the thing I love about conservation, is that people of all ages and religions and cultures and socioeconomic status have been here. Mm-hmm. And you can tell by the offerings. Right now we have over 300 pieces archived, and we're just kind of moving along bit by bit. This is where it gets stored. And so as you can start to see that we're outgrowing this space, we really want one of those storefronts on 37th in Chicago because it has a downstairs and an upstairs. And then that's the awesome part about doing this protest as a community, is that you get to learn people's skill sets and talents and what they're trained for. And everyone's training is different, and it's about how do we leverage our skill sets to live out racial justice. There's 4 trained conservators. One's the director, one's the assistant director, and then the other one is the intern. And then we have a fellowship out to find someone that we want to train to become a conservator one day, especially a Black person, because there's just not enough Black people in the field of conservation. And we need more to be able to tell our stories. And so that's one of the things that the George Floyd Global Memorial is working on, is what I like to call a school to conservation pipeline. So how can we as an institution nurture young Black folks to actually want to grow up to become people who tell our stories and preserve our stories? And we can do it the way that makes sense to us because we understand who we are as a people.